And in boxing, the cancelled exhibition fight between the money man, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Don Moore in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, have been rescheduled for this Saturday, the 21st of May. The venue remains the helipad of Burj Al Arab Hotel. This was announced by Mayweather Jr. himself through his social network, confirming his return to the ring in an evening in which Anderson Silva, one of the stars of the UFC's latest stars, will also participate. The passing of UAE President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan forced the cancellation of the fight last week, Saturday. Recently, the money man was in the news for me, a very controversial reason. Recently, the money man himself announced in an interview the five best fighters in history, in which he put himself as number one and left out the legendary Muhammad Ali. Mayweather placed himself at the top of this list ahead of fighters such as Pano Whitaker, Roberto Mano di Pedra Duran, that's talking about the Iron of Stone, Roberto Duran, Larry Holmes, and Aaron Pryor. Now, Femi, what's your take on this? Do you think Mayweather is the best boxer in history, or is he just hallucinating?
I think it's just hallucinating, and it's unfortunate that he had to come out with that. These are great boxers. I'm not with these five boxers it's listed. I'm not sure he could come fourth. We have Roberto Duran, we have Larry Holmes there, and we have Muhammad Ali. So where does he rank among them?
He ranked
I
himself
think
as number one. He ranked himself as number one. He's
I'm
claiming that
saying
he's number one, he's the best boxer in the world.
he's just trying to hype himself. He's never fought in the heavyweight rank. So how would you rank yourself as number one in the world? And apart from that, if you look at these boxers with the history of fight they had, I'm not sure Mayweather can stand any one of them, to be honest with you, if they have to put them in the ring.
Yeah, but we have to put into cognizance the fact that Mayweather fought as a welterweight, as a middleweight, as a super middleweight, not really as an
Yeah,
heavyweight boxer because his weight category will not allow him to step up to that level. And
that's
some
what I'm
of the
saying.
boxers he mentioned here, some of the boxers he mentioned here are great boxers, no doubt. But then I don't think Mayweather is the best in the world, even though I have so much love for him. As I love his style of boxing. But for me, I don't think he is the best in the world because
To me, I
when you talk
wouldn't
about
rank him
so
high.
where do you rank? Where do you rank a boxer like Marvelous Marvin Hagler? Where Sugar Ray
Agla.
Robinson? Where Sugar Ray Leonard? There are so many of them. The list is endless. And ranking himself as number one is like, come on, man, come on, Floyd. He
He's
can't
just
be number
hyping
one.
himself.
You are joking, brother. You must be joking. I'm still talking boxing. American Jambo Charlo became the first undisputed light middleweight champion in history with a 10th round knockout of Argentina's Brian Castano. That took place over the weekend. You saw that fight. Now, it was very much just similar to what we saw in the first fight between these two great warriors. Castano, despite the fact that he's got rich disadvantage, high disadvantage, he still got that big heart, to take the fight to Charlo, the guy with the rich advantage. But this time around, it was not to be, and Charlo got that knockout. Nobody saw that knockout coming when it took place. What's your take on the fight, Any?
Nobody saw it coming. It was a good fight, but and he ended in round 10. But you rate Jamel, even if the fight had gone to 12 rounds, he's won the fight during the rounds. And apart from that, if you look at the belt he's got, you know, he's got the WBA, IBF, and the Ring Magazine belt, before the fight. So he's a prolific fighter and a prolific challenger that I feel he deserved that victory.
No
He
doubt,
deserved
no
it.
doubt. Now talking about Charlo, he's the seventh boxer to hold all four belts at the same time, joining the likes of Bernard Hopkins, Terence Crawford, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and Scotland's Josh Taylor. And talking about Josh Taylor, who was just stripped of his WBA super lightweight title according to world governing body. However, the Scottish fighter claims he made the decision to vacate the belt. The WBA had ordered Taylor to make a mandatory defense of his title against Dominican Republic Alberto Puello, who is unbeaten in 20 fights. Taylor won the belt against Regis Progress in 2019 and most recently defended it in the controversial point win over Jack Catterall in February. Taylor, who is unbeaten in 19 fights, still holds the IBF, WBO, and WBC belts, but has hinted that he might step up to another weight category. Now, that's the thing about all these boxers when they feel they've won everything, at a particular weight category. You must, put your legend on the footprints of time. So step up to another weight category and see if you can go ahead and dominate them. Now, George Taylor stripped of that, what's it called, WBA title.
Hmm.
Is he stepping up? That's a
But
solution for him right now, or probably to go get his title back?
yeah, but also his management says that they're trying to defend his WBC and WBO with the IBF belt against Joe Sabeda. You know, it's a mandatory fight. I don't know if they're going to hold that before he moves on to the move up a rank, in weight. But there's a fight, it's a mandatory fight against Zapeda that might take place anytime now. They've not announced that. But I don't know if that's still going to take place before he moves up the rank.
Okay, let's see what's going to happen concerning that. And still talking boxing, Dimitri Bivol. Don't forget that young man. He was the one that defeated Saul Alvarez recently over 12 rounds. He is yet to receive his purse of $2 million a week after defeating Saul Alvarez by unanimous decision in one of the highest grossing fights of the year. While the Mexican was guaranteed $15 million, the Russian was supposed to receive $2 million. However, so far, he has not received a single dollar of the prize he deservedly won. Bebop recently explained that his payment for the fight with Alvarez has not yet arrived. This is due to the sanctions that the international community has imposed on Russian government for invading Ukraine. The promoter that organized his recent fight, has also not said anything about the profits that must be given to him. In this regard, Bevop acknowledged that together with his team, they are studying some way on how they could receive money. But the truth of that matter is that there is no alternative right now. It's not looking good at all for this young man. Now, something more complicated for the champion is about to start. Now, if he wants to continue exposing his title without getting paid, is that the way to go? Because very
No,
soon another fight is going to come up. He has another mandatory fight coming up. Now listen to the story. This position must be defined in a couple of weeks because either he gives a rematch to Saul Alvarez or exposes his scepter against Gilberto Zado Ramirez, who defeated the German Dominic Bressel and thus agreed to the opportunity. So it's either you fight without getting paid or you relinquish the title until everything has been
yeah,
resolved. What do you
but
think should be done right now?
surely he's going to get paid, and he knows that. The IBF or the WBC is not going to hold on to your money. They're just looking for a way, you know, to pass the money on to him. That's what I think is happening here. But definitely,
Well, but
even if he's fighting,
it has to do with the sanctions. It has to do with the sanctions imposed
I
on
know,
Russia. Don't forget, Bivol is a
I know,
Russian boxer.
I know, but he's an individual boxer. He's an individual, right? If not, that fight shouldn't have hold at all. If they know they can pay him or he's a Russian, there's no need bringing him on to come and fight and win their belt. So he's gonna get paid definitely, but it's how or the means of passing the money to him. It's his money, so
When
he'll
he gets
definitely
paid,
get paid.
and don't forget that Vladimir Klitschko, talking about Dr. Steel Armor, as the younger brother to Vitaly Klitschko, came out to say that the fight should not even be sanctioned in the first place because of what is going on in Ukraine. He was against the fight, taking place at all. So I'm sure he should be grinning from one cheek to the other side of the cheek right now that the young man is not paid for his efforts.
They shouldn't have held the fight. I suppose that, but once the fight has been held, yeah, he's gonna get paid definitely.
He must
It's
get
a
paid.
world
That's what
body.
we are waiting for right now. He must get
Mhm.
paid.